Good evening and welcome back to 360 Sports. I'm your host Owen. I'm here with my analysts Caden, Rob, and Luke, and we're gonna be talking some hoops today. So let's get right into it. First on the agenda, Giannis Antetokounmpo might not be a Buck for that much longer. The organization has been fielding aggressive trade offers from everyone all around the league. With Golden State currently projected as the number one front runner, what do you think is going to happen? Will he go there? Is he going to go somewhere else, guys? What do you
I
guys
don't know
think?
about you guys. I'm sick of the never-ending saga of Giannis getting traded, not getting traded, hearing different things from himself, hearing different things from coaches, the entire Bucks organization. He's 31 now and he wants to compete. And he can't do it in Milwaukee. He needs 2 to 3 more years there to be able to build another roster around him. And he's not going to get any younger. Injuries are already getting to him. I don't think it's smart for the Bucks to trade him now because you have uncertainty like with draft capital in the future. But I do think you wait till the offseason. I think it's too quick to pull a trigger. And this trade deadline's been pretty dead. We only have Trae Young getting traded. And, I mean, that's really all I got.
I don't want to see Giannis get traded, actually, if it were up to me, which it's not. But I think loyalty is a dying trait in modern sports, you could say. And Giannis has an opportunity that very few superstars have to play for one franchise in their career. And some people might be like, hey, why would he stay if they're not winning? They're not making a run. But I just think that like Dirk Nowitzki type impact on a city, on a franchise is so valuable. And let's not pretend like he hasn't won a ring. They won a ring in 2021, which is the ultimate goal. You're not going to win one every single year. So if we're up to me, I don't want Giannis to get traded. I think he should stick with his team through thick and thin. But if he were to be traded, I think Minnesota would be super interesting, pairing him up with Anthony Edwards. The T-Wolves have enough assets to build a package. Julius Randle, Jalen McDaniels, and they own I think 3 of their own first-round picks in the future. So I feel like that could be enough to get Milwaukee to pull the trigger. But like you were saying, the deadline kind of changes how trade value is gauged. Luka went for nothing. And I think if he's going to get traded, I would also wait to the offseason as well.
I think loyalty goes 2 ways. At the end of the day, it goes from your superstar and it comes from the front office, right?
Absolutely.
And the front office in the last few years, trading for Kyle Kuzma, is that being loyal to the best player who's, I don't know, maybe not best players ever walked through.
They went after Miles Turner.
Went after him, but they didn't get him. And again, like you said, Miles Turner. So I think loyalty goes really 2 ways there. And what you can see is the Bucks have not been loyal to Giannis. They brought in an aging superstar in Dame who did nothing. They haven't done much around him. So I think it's about his time to leave. He knows he's just getting to the end of his peak. He wants to go compete, go win more rings. He wants to be one of the all-time greats. He's not looking to be a hero of a city. He wants to be one of the best to ever do it. So I think he has to get a trade. He has to go somewhere where he can at least compete. Because if he goes and competes, he's going to be looking for more titles, more anything. So in saying that, there's only 2 or 3 places I could realistically see him being traded. It's the Knicks, because everyone's linked to the Knicks, obviously, right? They have the players and somewhat of the capital to get it done. The Warriors, because, Steph wants to win and they have the capital to get it done. But everyone's not talking about, I think, is the Cavs. They are positioned with 3 superstars. They have a couple other players inside that they can make the trades and go for him. So I think Giannis and the Cavs would be a huge trade.
Yeah, I like your take on he has to go. Like loyalty, come on, it's 2026. Who's loyal in 2026? I think going to the Warriors, I would love to see Giannis go to the Warriors. I think he can obviously still compete. And I love Steph Curry too. And they're both in the same boat. They're both aging superstars, still being very productive. I'd love to see them come together and make one last little push for the to the championship. The only problem I have with that is what if just the Draymond Green thing? What's he gonna do really on offense? Is he gonna ride him out? Is he gonna break up another team again?
Draymond doesn't have to do anything because you have Giannis.
That's true.
That honestly, I don't think Draymond Green would make any difference in this Golden State team if they were to get Giannis. It's a completely different team when you have Giannis on any roster. So
Absolutely. He is a premier player in the NBA, right? You put him on a team with the best point guard of all time. Yeah, Steph Curry is the best point guard of all time, first of all.
I agree. Don't worry.
All right, good. But you put him on that team, I can't imagine many teams going toe-to-toe with them.
Would Jimmy Butler be sent to Milwaukee in this situation?
I mean, it depends what Milwaukee feels his trade value is. I mean, he just destroyed his knee. Would you want to take an aging superstar like Jimmy Butler who just destroyed his knee? So it really depends on what they value Jimmy Butler at.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, he's still an all-star. Speaking of all-stars, the NBA just released the all-star starters. Luka and as we just mentioned, Giannis is another starter. Was there anyone that was listed that you were surprised got on there? Is there any snubs, you think? What are you guys' thoughts?
One of the few times I think they kind of got it right. I really look at the West and the East here, and I don't see every starter there's a case for. Maxey, Brown, Brunson, and obviously you got two other guys that, are great, and they're starters. But when you look, honestly, this isn't a snub, but Jalen Johnson is playing absolutely amazing this year. He will be an all-star, but I just want to give him a shout-out because he is now the number one option on the Hawks team, and I think they're in a great direction in the future, especially with him at the helm. He's averaging 23, 10.5, and 8 right now on the best splits of his career. So if he continues to trend in this direction, if he's not an all-star starter this year, which he isn't, he'll be one in the near future.
Yeah, I didn't really have any surprises, to be honest, but I just think it is an interesting talking point how much better the West is if you take those starters. If, that first take clip from years ago where it's like Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. If the West and the East played in like a 7-game series, the West is at minimum gentlemen sweeping.
Yeah.
It is it's not even remotely close. And they still had reserves like Anthony Edwards. He wasn't even a starter, I don't think. I think it was a tiebreaker and it went to Wemby, I believe. But I just think that's so interesting that the West has this saturated tier of talent that the East cannot match.
Also, KD, Devin
Yeah,
Booker too.
KD,
So-
LeBron is a reserve.
That was what I was shocked me is that they have LeBron in the reserves.
I mean, I think it's.
I think
No, it's warranted.
It's sad
I'm not
because-
disagreeing with
It's
it.
sad
It's just
because
sad.
it's
Yeah,
like the
it's wrong.
beginning of the end, and it's just like you have this 21-year stretch, just consistency, and then I don't know.
That's actually what I had down as my biggest surprise is that they finally have LeBron out of the starters. I think it's time they needed to, but I was surprised that the voters and everyone else decided that this year was the year, especially when it's looking like it's going to be his last one.
Yeah,
So
especially
hopefully
with that
not.
ovation in Cleveland too. That looked,
That was
Exactly.
yeah. I'm glad you brought up Anthony Edwards though, because he was my only one. I thought he should have been a starter over. I love Steph Curry. I thought he should have been over Steph Curry because you look at their numbers this year. Ant hasn't beaten points, rebounds, assists, better efficiency from the field, from the three. I just think he's been playing absolutely
teams
amazing.
been playing too.
Teams been playing like
Timberwolves playing better.
they're doing great right now. I think do they have a better record?
They do,
They do
yeah.
a better record. Yeah. I just think Anthony Edwards has been dominating. I think as much as I love Steph Curry, I love our aging superstars. I think they should have given that spot to Ant. All right, well, moving on. Kawhi Leonard. Speaking of aging superstars, is perfect. Kawhi Leonard and Joel Embiid.
Dang.
it hurts to say that. They've come back from the dead basically. They've been like on load management, in and out of injuries, in and out of the games, haven't been consistent. But now they're both absolutely balling out right now. Embiid's averaging around like 30 a game right now. The Clippers have won like almost like 10 in a row. They've been on a tear too, and people are saying it's because of load management. Do you think it's actually being successful, or do you think it's like some magic luck that they're back on the court?
Load management definitely works. It is a proven thing with Victor Wembanyama right now. He is the perfect example of load management in the entire NBA. They throw him on the bench. They're giving him limited minutes because they were trying to prevent an Achilles injury, and they did it. And now he's back to being a full-time starter and playing well. But load management works, but with these older players, they're just going to keep getting hurt, and they haven't experienced load management throughout their entire careers. So with these two players, I don't think it really applies to them because of the past injury history already. But definitely in the future, superstars shouldn't be getting injured as much, and it has to be because of load management. Playing a few less games, then that's going to be the way it is. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in Embiid and Kawhi's case, this is more of like a coincidence rather than correlation with load management. Granted, teams have been doing load management under the table for years.
100%.
It's been a little bit more low key, but both of these players have had severe knee injuries to in their career. So, like you said, the load management doesn't really do much when you have this chronic ailment that is, constantly being tested by 82 game seasons. So for the younger guys that get to experience kind of like a legalized version of it, I think that will be very beneficial. But for Kawhi and Embiid, it's really just, you're up against time, in my opinion.
I agree. I think the Kawhi and Embiid especially, I think that they just got lucky that they're healthy this year, right? They've had other years where they're just healthy and they haven't got hurt as much. But load management is one of the most important things that you can bring into sports these years. I mean, you see in other sports as well that the athletes are getting overworked. So many games in a year, they're getting overworked. Their bodies are breaking down on us. So yeah, you play less, you put less exertion into your body on your off days, and you be able to recover more. I think that's going to be a big part into the leagues coming up in the next few years. And yeah, you play less, you get hurt less. Basic math, I'd say.
I would also throw in there that honestly, I don't really see it as a controversial topic to prioritize player health. Sure, it's frustrating for fans maybe that showed up to a game and then all of a sudden, the best players ruled out on load management.
I'd be pissed if that happened.
Yeah, it's that's why it's controversial. But I would say at the end of the day, the playoffs, being healthy and having teams without their best few players, notable starters, is worse for the sport. I think going into the playoffs with a healthy roster, guys aren't gassed because you get through 82 games. How many more? You got to play, 4 series to win a ring? So I think as long as players are going into the playoffs healthy and they're not literally out of gas at the end of the season, I think that this is a very strong.
That's exactly what's happening. And I don't know if you guys watch much, but soccer is that they're getting so overworked that by the end of the season comes around then they're going to have to go do another tournaments for their national teams, that these players, their bodies are falling apart on us, right? They can't play in these games and stuff. And what happens is they can't manage, and the product gets worse on the pitch at the end of the day. That when everyone's hurt, the product is worse.
Absolutely.
And who wants that?
Yeah.
You got to keep those MVP level guys healthy. And speaking of MVPs, we are halfway through the season right now. So I think we should take it to the board and see who is everyone's MVP favorite pick so far this year.
Absolutely. I will lead us off. So I went with my guy out on the West Coast, Luka Doncic, for my MVP pick. He is leading the league in scoring, first off, 33.6 points per game, just ravaging defenses. He has the highest usage rate in the NBA, which contributes to handling the ball, using him in ball motion and things of that nature. So honestly, for me, a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Lakers, they're not, they're 5th seed, they're not winning enough games, they're not competitive. And to that, I say the Lakers have one of the most flawed rosters in basketball. For those elite teams, obviously there are, teams with the worst rosters, but of those contending teams, Luka is basically putting in that work on a team that really does not have a lot of business being up there. And he's also second in playmaking in the league. I think 8.7 assists. So that the ability to elevate the team around him that is not the best, and the ability to constantly do so while commanding crazy defensive attention and coverage is why I think he is the MVP right now.
They're not letting Luka get an MVP the year after he was traded. They were.
I would fit right into the script if
Well,
he did that.
he's due, so
Should have won it last year, I think.
yeah. I saw something that SGA stats from last season for his MVP. Luka has every single stat of the main 5 stats he's doing better in right now. So we'll see if he can sustain that.
Yeah, the only thing that's really hindering him winning an MVP is honestly the Lakers' success just as a team. So you hit all the points honestly on that. So, all right. So for my pick, we will be going with the reigning MVP so he could get a 2-peat this year. We're going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Thunder are still the 1 seed in the West, and they're playing amazing too. They battled some injuries this year, but Shai has stayed consistent. He's practically mirroring his stats from last year, and he just broke the record for most 30-point games, I believe, in 30 minutes. And he also has a true shooter percentage of 66%, which is very high, and I think is leading all time, I believe, something like that. Again, he is playing unbelievable. If you don't like the way he plays, blame the officiating, because he is some of the best basketball IQ in the NBA, and there's no reason why it should be hated on as much as he is, because he is a great player. And I'm going to say something crazy, but in my eyes, he's the Kobe Bryant of our generation.
Oh my God!
That's
I actually don't
blasphemous. That's insane.
No.
You're
No,
telling me
I'm not letting you get away with dropping a quote like that.
You're telling
No.
me when you watch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander play basketball,
I
and
wanna
you
shoot-
watch
I
and you
I'd rather
watch
watch
Kobe
anybody
play
else.
basketball, their mid ranges, their handle, they play the game with a flow.
Kobe doesn't flop and do this every single time.
Yeah, yeah.
now,
I mean,
so
from what I know, Kobe wouldn't
But
jump
D
into
Wade
other
did
players
though,
and
and
flop.
D Wade's the top shooting guard of all time.
he's not.
I don't think the Kobe comparison
Kobe-
is there, but I do
You know what?
agree.
You could have just said he's
He-
great, but like the Kobe
Yeah,
comparison,
okay.
you dragged it. You dragged it with the
Little
Kobe
bit.
comparison.
Alright.
That's all I got.
I'm gonna
Oh.
play devil's advocate here. SGA gets these calls because he's putting defenders in a spin cycle on a possession
I
to
don't
possession
care.
basis.
It's unfun to watch. I don't care about that, right? Cool, he does that. I don't like watching it.
It's not
It's bad
ethical at all.
product. It's unethical hoops, right?
Well, then you gotta tell the defenders not
So,
to foul him.
like-
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'll
can
hit
have
up
their hand-
Jalen
they can have
Johnson in
their
my
hands
free
up.
time. I'll hit it. No, well, you were gonna tell me seriously say the NBA hasn't got soft in the last 5 years.
Yes,
They
it
call-
has, but what else are you gonna do but adapt? Are you just gonna keep sitting there and play physical? Like,
I would
I
personally.
think we're
yeah.
never gonna. We're never
that's,
gonna. agree.
that's
Personally,
you,
yeah.
and he's having success because he isn't doing that. So
Amen.
Anyway,
We'll agree. We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure it out later off
All
camera.
right, now picking up my pick for the MVP, it's none other than the man who loves horses more than his own team, Nikola Jokic. Right? He's hurt now, but he came to the league this season averaging 29, 12, and 11. He leads the league in assists and rebounds per game. He's only done that in 32 games, and not only that, he leads his team in points, assists, and rebounds. Right? So MVP means most valuable player. He is most valuable to his team. He does the most to make his team win. Yeah, that's what I got for Nikola. As simple as that.
He's the most efficient
Very
player like
creative
ever.
pick.
Yeah, he's shooting 60% from the field. It's
Okay, hell on that. I mean, like,
deserves it more than Shea in my
there's nothing too much to say about him because, like, he's just like this. He just goes out there, does his job that he hates apparently, more than his horses. But
only thing
just
with
goes out to hoops.
Jokic is obviously the injury, and I
Yeah.
don't know like how many more games.
He's got 3 more games
Okay,
to miss.
so-
So I mean, he probably won't be there, but you don't know.
Yeah, Jokic does elevate that Nuggets team obviously massively, but I don't think he's like Luka elevates his team, Shea elevates his team. Like all of these teams without any of these MVP players are like worse. I think that's honestly a given if you're an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
But I think he raises the floor of worst players, in my opinion.
Okay,
Nikola. That's what I think
yeah.
he does. He has worse players around him, and he raises their floor better than the other players do.
Absolutely.
It's a good argument.
All right, so I'm gonna switch it up to the East. We're gonna go with Cade Cunningham. He has completely turned this franchise around. He got drafted into the worst scenario ever, going to the Pistons. Horrible. And now they are the 1 seed in the East. He's outside the top 10 scoring. He's first in assists, top 10 in double doubles, and he's doing all this without like a second surefire also. Like Jalen Duran, he's a very good player, but he's not like a guaranteed lock to make it to the All-Star game. He's got a bunch of good role players around him, but there's no like clear second option. He just put all the load on his back, and he's just gone to work, kept his head down, grinded, and now they're first in the East, and they're probably going to stay the first seed for the entire rest of the season into the playoffs.
Yeah, this was my pick. You stole it.
Not my fault.
No, I'm kidding. You got it in earlier.
I can't believe the Pistons are good. That's really all I have for that. Is I can't believe they're good. Like,
I mean,
I feel like I remember them being.
Would have never called it. Would have never called it.
when you're so bad for so many years,
Mhm.
eventually you have to be able to put enough talent on a roster that's good.
Hey man, I'm a Raiders fan. I've seen bad for years.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You're
they
in
just don't do
purgatory,
it.
jeez.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
All right, so moving on. Now it's time for a challenge. We will be given 3 NBA players, and we have to figure out what the similarity is between those 3. It can be anything from stats, colleges, personal details, their middle name, whatever. Hopefully it goes well. It probably won't go too well, but we're going to give it a shot. So we got Pods.
Pods.
Brandon
Pods.
Wojcicki
That's my
first.
goat right there.
All right.
Oh,
Oh.
Mike.
Andre Ingram.
Yeah,
That's a name
well.
right there.
Andre,
And Mike
he's a
Muscala.
dude who had 1 start for the
Yeah.
the Lakers.
I
right?
remember.
He was a math teacher. Hey, man,
He wasn't.
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
that's that dude
yeah,
from the
yeah.
G League.
You can't forget Mike Muscala.
I have no
Sixers
idea.
legend Mike Muscala. And CJ McCollum, whatever.
Oh. I mean, so he
Oh,
played.
Larry.
Andre Ingram genuinely played in 3 NBA games in his career.
It's not college.
So what could he have done that like levels to
Were they all math tutors
college
or something?
I don't
There's
know.
no way it's college.
Were they all math? I want to say they were all math tutors at one point. It's the only thing I could think of.
Can we call
what, else
that a
would,
hint?
what else would anybody else know about Andre Ingram other than he was a math tutor playing
Maybe
in
they
the G
were born
League?
the same
That's what I'm
place.
telling you.
I don't know. Live in the same
Um,
state, maybe.
No.
I have no clue. I'm bad at this, anyways.
Can we get a hint?
Can we get a
From
hint?
our studio?
Let's get a hint.
Think outside the NBA.
So they're all math tutors. They all gotta be math tutors.
I'm telling you, they were all math tutors. Final answer from Luke, at least. I got nothing else to
not
give.
our
No, no, no.
I got
He doesn't
nothing else
speak
to
for the
give.
rest
He's
of us.
banned.
He doesn't speak for the rest of us.
That's my final answer.
Anybody? Oh god. Well, how? All right, come on. There's no way we were getting.
Oh, okay. Well,
right,
that
you know
was
what?
anticlimactic.
I went to
You guys in the studio think way too highly of our NBA ball knowledge for us to get that.
I got
They
ball knowledge,
I
but
don't even know what the Patriot League is.
Yeah, I'm not going.
didn't even know who Andre Ingram
was a
was.
little
That should have
Yeah,
been
that's what I'm saying.
that should have been a telltale sign. It's all good. Moving on. Now we're gonna talk a little about college. Oh wait, there's more. I'm
Oh,
so
we got
sorry. We're still
more.
going. That's on me. I jumped the gun.
Oh my
Oh,
god, I don't
this
know
might be
any of
even
these
worse.
players.
Okay.
I've literally never heard of any of these players.
Second overall pick,
Milic-
Darko Milicic, bro. I have no clue who those two are though. Can we get another hint?
Yeah.
How you enter the NBA?
They're all
oh, these are second.
overall picks?
Yeah.
Second overall picks? No, is that it?
Is that like?
Did they go to?
No, there's no way these two are second.
Did they all
overall
declare out of high school?
I was about to say high school.
Oh, are they all European? Maybe.
picks. Foreign?
Jordan Hill doesn't look
Jordan-
very
yeah,
European,
yeah.
actually.
That's the most non-foreign.
Keith
looking
Van
dude I've ever
Horn,
seen.
though, he's from, I don't know, actually probably New Jersey. They got to all be from or something.
Yeah. No
Should we
answer.
say high
Yeah.
school?
High school? Yeah,
All
Oh,
busts.
that's like.
right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
After Duncan, wow.
Oh, right.
That's a nuts question.
How you came
That's-
into the?
All right, looks like we got one more for the board. Avery Bradley, Rajah Bell, Marcus Camby.
All play on the bench.
They all got the
Hey,
same haircut.
Marcus Camby's a dog.
I don't know.
Oh God, we are horrible at this.
I mean, again, I've never
This
heard
is,
of any of these
requires some crazy ball
Yeah,
knowledge.
like,
Yeah, this is-
No, I know
We're not
all
good
three
enough.
of these
Another
people. It's just
The hints, accolades.
they all
Six man of the
got
year.
a ring. Is that
no
it?
rookie of the year.
Is it rookie of the year? No way. Rajah Bell won rookie of the year.
They got all 6 man. I don't know.
Marcus
Marcus Camby's like
definitely
from
didn't win rookie of
no.
the year.
Or 6 man.
It's got to be a ring, right? I know Marcus Camby's got a ring.
They
I know
didn't
Avery
play
Bradley
and got
has
a ring.
Avery
Maybe-
Bradley definitely
On the
He-
Lakers?
Yeah,
With
on the
LeBron,
Lakers,
yeah.
probably,
Did they
yeah.
all not play and get a ring?
Do they all play in the Lakers? Maybe. No, I
No,
don't think Marcus Camby.
they probably all have a
Ring? It's got to be a ring, right? Is it? Do they have a ring? Is that the
All made one All-Star team?
Final answer.
final answer? They have a ring. That's our best guess. Oh, I should have guessed that.
Yeah, fam.
That was
Well,
dumb.
I did
should've-
not know Avery Bradley made
No,
an
I should have
NBA
known
first
that,
team.
low key. That's all right. That's on me. I'll take the loss on that one.
Yeah,
All right, so
that's-
0 for 3. We'll do better.
Well, that
Hopefully
was
next
nuts.
time when you see us, we'll be
Next week,
we'll,
don't worry.
We'll be better. We'll figure it out.
If they're that hard again, no, we won't.
All right, so
That's
moving
not
on.
lying.
Moving on to college now. The college basketball world has been divided because of the battles between multiple players and courts over eligibility, namely James Najee and Charles Bideko. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. Where do you guys fall on these players in the whole college eligibility debate?
This is like being a senior on varsity and going back down on JV because you're not good enough for varsity. This
100%,
is
yeah.
literally what this is, and I think the
Oh, like a
story
personal
of
attack at me, huh?
Bideko, his story is crazy. After the NCAA initially denied his return, he sued the NCAA and was granted a temporary restraining order in January, allowing him to return to Alabama, and he played his first game against Tennessee.
Did you see who
Insane
the
work.
judges that signed off on that the slip to?
didn't know.
Big Bama fan and big donor to the Crimson
out.
Tide.
So now we got
So
a whole
Alabama
underlying
so-
conspiracy
Yeah,
with
you know,
this
when you
NCAA.
signed that
100%,
lawsuit in
yeah.
Tuscaloosa about you to
Corruption
play for the Tuscaloosa basketball
Has
team.
no.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll probably get that.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you have to put the onus on the NCAA, right, for not making the rules obvious enough, right? You can't be letting this happen where you have someone who was drafted and played in the G League to then come back and play against 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds we're seeing in college now. That's just it doesn't seem fair or right. It's the simplest way I can put it is it doesn't seem fair or right.
Yeah, I mean the responsibility, like you said, ultimately falls on NCAA ownership because at least in James Najee's case, there wasn't a rule broken. He abided by the rules. He was able to return to the NBA or the NCAA because it was within his five years of like his high school graduation date, and to me that's just ridiculous.
He's on.
Yeah, I mean the easiest solution people argue is the G League, amateur as a professional. The simplest solution is just like once you go outside of the NCAA in terms of like sports leagues, I feel like that should end your eligibility. It just feels like with all this extra eligibility and NIL and all these other factors, it feels like school and like getting your, graduating from college is kind of like in the back seat now, and it doesn't really dictate. At the end of the day, it's student athletes. Like the NCAA should be student athletes.
100%.
So I really don't understand why that was even able to, like a loophole was even able to be found, but they found it.
Imagine
so
being a 19-year-old like kid. You just got into college. You got to play a 24-year-old dude.
been in
Who
the
has
NBA
a
with
401k
weight
and a
room.
mortgage. And
Yeah.
probably as a kid too. Like so.
I'm going to outplay devil's advocate here, but a lot of what we talk about is in the football as well, though. Carson Beck is a 24-year-old who graduated school 2 years ago and he's still playing.
You'll get a
Yeah.
tight end
Right?
like
Exactly.
Arroyo too.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to let them play, I don't see a problem. Honestly, I don't see a problem with letting,
I
Najee
agree.
play.
I agree.
Now, Bediako, who signed a professional contract, you can't come back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
No way.
ridiculous.
That's crazy work.
But, we also have 30-year-old punters from Australia playing in college football as well, right?
What does this world
yeah.
come to, man?
Well, at some point, they're going to have to put their foot down somewhere and say what's okay and what's not. And you know what I think it is? I think they kind of like the controversy. It's bringing more people towards the NCAA. It's making people realize. So I think they're building off the controversy right now.
Yeah, it sells.
All right, as for our last topic, we got some games tonight. We got the Thunder and the Wolves. Who do you guys think is going to win that game? I know what your answer is going to be, but
I'm actually going with the Wolves in this one.
Never mind.
So
All right.
the Thunder obviously coming off some injuries, and they have some injuries right now too. It's also that weird part of the season. It's around All-Star weekend, around midseason, where teams are going to start dropping some games. Personally, I don't know who thought the Thunder were going to break the Warriors record. Was the most
I called it from
obscene.
the beginning.
That was the most insane prediction ever. I don't know why people were thinking that. But yeah, it's that time of the season. Seedings fluctuate. I think the Wolves are going to get it tonight. They got a nice, healthy roster too.
Yeah, I agree. I think OKC's a little banged up for my liking, so I'm gonna take the Wolves.
I picked OKC here, and strictly because banged up or not, you still got to win, right? They got to put their backups on the floor and actually still win. So I think they come out with some vigor and really try and fight for a win.
Yeah, as much as it grinds my gears to pick them, I picked the Thunder. I mean, they just have the most complete team in the NBA. And the Timberwolves are a very good team. I think it'll be like a 5 to 10 point game. The Timberwolves are a very good team too, but that team is just on the Thunder. They're just so complete. There's no flaw in their games.
Yeah.
And-
I
I'm just a
believe
little-
they split the first two games 1-1.
yeah, so I mean, it'll be a close game.
And also recently too, they dropped games to the Pacers and the Raptors,
Yeah.
and you even have
That's any team,
Shea
though.
playing. But it's just the Raptors have actually went up a little. They've actually been playing pretty well. But
Yeah.
a team like the Pacers, you can't drop that game, especially in a finals rematch.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Well,
Is there such thing as really dropping games though this early in the season?
That's true, too.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true,
It's
too.
early in the season. I don't know if you drop games, you might get outplayed sometimes,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you drop games yet. So I think as later in the season comes, it'll be really to see.
Next game on tonight is the Pistons versus the Suns. How you guys feel about that?
Cade's playing unbelievable. No Devin Booker. I have the Pistons.
Yeah, same
I
here.
had the Pistons by 20, honestly. And last game, we got the Heat versus the Bulls. Two mid teams. So I
Yeah,
don't know
there's
who's
no
gonna-
Giddy, and Bam's actually been playing pretty good recently, so I'm just going to go with the Heat. Yeah, they should.
I might watch this game. This actually might be a good game.
Yeah.
And I got to go with you and say
Battle
the Heat as well.
mediocre, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm taking the Bulls. I think the Bulls in their last 5 they beat some good teams, and they lost to. They were a victim of a Luka takeover, so they dropped that game to the Lakers. But I think the Bulls are a competitive team. I'll take the Bulls here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not with the Bulls. I agree with them too. My fault. Not my fault, man. I'm trying to leave you on an island, but yeah, I'm taking the Heat too. I think it's gonna be a close game because it's two mid teams playing, but
Yeah.
I have the Heat edging them out.
Unironically, the best games.
I was about to
too.
say
Yeah.
the best
They're
game to
always the
watch.
best games.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, guys.
What
Well,
do you think about Michigan and Michigan State for college?
Michigan State's been playing.
Yeah, I was gonna
really
take Michigan
good this
State,
year.
yeah.
Michigan.
you can't go wrong with Tom Izzo behind as your coach.
Yeah.
Tom Izzo's a cool dude.
Michigan almost lost to Penn State. They can't be that good of a basketball team, is my thoughts.
That's a really
That's a-
good measuring
It's a
stick.
very great
Penn
match.
State's 0-10 now in Big Ten play. They can't be that good of
Yeah.
a team.
Horrible.
100%.
If
Yeah.
you can say anything about women's, UConn, and Tennessee.
UConn basketball
Balling out.
always prevails.
That's,
They're
that's,
strong,
if
absolute
UConn basketball,
ball.
you just gotta go with them. There's
Yep.
no you can't be a wrong choice not picking UConn. It's always a safe bet.
Always.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for this segment. Again, I'm your host Owen, Rob, Caden, Luke. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.